Great morning. Even Prez is excited about that. Hope you guys are having an amazing, amazing Monday morning. This is Triple M Monday Morning Motivation. So you're in the right place because it's Monday morning. We all need some motivation to get the week started. And we just started the fourth quarter. Super fired up as we come out of in Herbalife. We just had our leadership development weekend, and that's where we get together as leaders inside of Herbalife and come together and learn and grow. We had two great speakers. One who's been in helping people get healthy for over 20 years. Other one, only 4 years, does it from a kitchen table around 3 kids, and they gave us the nuggets. And I'm super excited. So I hope you guys got your shaker, your healthy meal. I put a little kale in mine today, so that's why it's green. Got to get the greens too. And today we're going to be hearing from a guy named Dwayne Johnson, better known as The Rock. So this is a guy who he played college ball. He tried out for the pros and was cut. Came to LA with $7 in his pocket. Went on to become a wrestling superstar. Went on to cross over into movies. This guy is a work beast. If you see him in movie after movie after movie. But not only that, he has a huge heart. And I'm just inspired by his work ethic. You know, I don't know if you guys could imagine how much work it takes to make a movie, let alone a good movie. And if you've noticed, he's in movie after movie after movie after movie. I follow him on Instagram, so I'm always seeing this stuff. He's actually filming right now. If you guys remember that movie, Jumanji. I don't know if you remember that movie. I loved that movie when I was a kid. Him and Kevin Hart are filming Jumanji right now. I can't wait to see that movie. That was one of my favorite movies as a kid, where the game like comes to life. Oh, that was dope. That's like my dream for real life. They're like in the greens right now, running around mountains. I love it. So he's obviously become successful from $7 in his pocket to multimillionaire, world impactor, and he's going to be sharing his top 10 rules for success. So grab your notebook. Let's get it. Grab your mind. Let's get it. Grab your friend. Text them. Tell them, let's get it. Share the Zoom link. And be ready to share because I'm excited to hear what you guys take away from Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, top 10 rules for success.
I knew at that time when I was 8 I wanted to be an entertainer, and I love the idea of that. It wasn't me, personally, that they didn't like. It was that I wasn't being me.
Life brings like drama, and you got to deal with this person and a funky relationship.
Yes, I get up at crazy hours, whether it's 3 o'clock in the morning, by the way. When we were talking in London, I was getting up at 3 because I had to be on set by 4.
It is the worst mistake you will ever make. He said, you're ruining your career. I love action, and I love kicking ass. But the goal was to become a better actor. Get your ass kicked, you get back up, and you put the gloves back on, and you swing away. When I was 16 years old, that was the last time that I was arrested. I don't know how it happened, but my cousin who was on tour with us, I said, just got busted with prostitutes, and my name is attached to it now.
He's a Canadian-American actor, producer, and semi-retired wrestler. The Rock is considered by many to be the biggest superstar in WWE history. His autobiography debuted at #1 on the New York Times bestseller list. He's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and here are his top 10 rules for success.
We were bad. We intimidated, we dominated, but we took a lot of pride in that. We took a lot of pride in trailblazing and how the game was played back at that time through we would intimidate teams and we would want to dominate teams, but also too we also had the thought process that a team was never going to outwork us. We were going to be the hardest working team in the country. And check this out. What we would do, for example, we would go into so we had a big game against Florida State. So we would go into their Doak Campbell Stadium, and instead of going through your general practice, what we would do is we would do things a little bit different just to intimidate them. So as a team, we would kind of all line up. We're in their stadium. You got their staff, you got some players watching us. Instead of going through our plays, we would just start to give cadence calls. So for example, you know, the whole team, we would say things like, let
it go, baby, it's Cable. Don't hold back, Dwayne.
We would say, all us Canes, we got an itch. Florida State's gonna be our bitch. Like that. I wanted to entertain. When I was 8 years old, I thought I was a combination of these guys. I thought I was a combination of Chuck Norris, Richard Pryor, Harrison Ford, and Rocky Balboa and Harrison Ford from Indiana Jones. So I was like all these guys and Elvis Presley too at 8, right?
Pretty lofty ambition.
Yes, exactly. So I knew at that time when I was 8 I wanted to be an entertainer, and I loved the idea of that and what it meant. And when I was 8, I saw Indiana Jones for the first time, and I loved that character. Like, wow, that guy was so heroic, and he kicked ass, and I remember I had great angst every night before I went out because I was not able to be myself.
Sensation of the year. Rocky Maivia, Intercontinental Champion, and yes,
my very first WrestleMania, the biggest show of the year, the Super Bowl of wrestling.
It's not just all luck, is it? Well, this is Rocky.
That night, 20,000 fans started chanting "Rocky sucks." It was a sobering moment, and that was the beginning of the end of my initial run in the WWE. A few weeks later, I tore a tendon in my knee, and I was out for the rest of the summer. And I came to the realization before I went back that it wasn't me, personally, that they didn't like. It was that I wasn't being me. I wasn't being real. I wasn't being authentic. Who is this guy in wrestling who's smiling when he's getting beat? A few weeks later, I got a call from the WWE, and I spoke to Vince McMahon. He said, when you come back, we could continue to shove you down people's throats, or we could turn you heel because they want to boo you anyway. I said, I think it's a great idea. And I said, before we get off the phone, I have one request. I said, when I come back and we go live, I just need 2 minutes live, me talking to the audience live. 2 minutes is all I'm asking. He said, okay. You got it. A couple of weeks later, I came back. We were on live TV. I grabbed the microphone. Fans were already booing. They started chanting, "Rocky sucks."
In arenas across the country, I heard chants of "Rocky sucks."
I said, I may be a lot of things.
Well, Rocky might be is a lot of things,
but sucks isn't one of them.
but sucks isn't one of them.
In that moment, The Rock was born. And about a month later, I was the hottest heel in the company. And things were on fire. And the greatest lesson about that is be you. Be yourself. Whether it's in entertainment, whether it's out in public, whether you're a celebrity or not, whatever. And the most powerful thing you can be is yourself.
Oh, yes, I get up super early. Generally, I have this thing where I like beating the sun up, not just in terms of before the sun comes up, I have to get up. And how do I do it? It's just important to find balance, and I try and do things really that I really enjoy doing. And a lot of times, you know, it's like in life, right? Life brings like drama, and you got to deal with this person and a funky relationship here, and all these things. You try and just kind of balance them out as best I can. And I got a great team around me, by the way, who really, really helps me well and allows for me to come in and work 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day, get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, send out an Instagram video where I'm talking to my cardio machine like a crazy maniac. So yeah, it requires a lot of people around me.
Yes, I get up at crazy hours, whether it's 3 o'clock in the morning, by the way. When we were talking in London, I was getting up at 3 because I had to be on set by 7. So whatever time my call time is, and I tell this to studios and directors and our producers, whatever time my call time. So my call time is at 7, then you back your clock up 4 hours, and then that's when I get up. And I'll train twice. I'll get my cardio in and breakfast, and then I'll go hit the weights. Clanging and banging, we call it. Jack and iron.
But like, what time do you go to bed? I mean, you might shoot really late at night.
I'm averaging, on a movie, I'll average probably about 5 hours of sleep.
Okay.
I found that with depression, one of the most important things you could realize is that you're not alone. You're not the first to go through it. You're not going to be the last to go through it. And oftentimes it happens. You feel like you're alone, and you feel like it's only you, and you're in your bubble. And I wish I had someone at that time who could just pull me aside and, hey, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. So I wish I knew that. Just got to remember, Hold on to that fundamental quality of faith. Have faith that on the other side of your pain is something good. After about a month and a half of staying in that little apartment and cleaning, I got a phone call from the head coach of the team who cut me, the head coach of the Calgary Stampeders. He called me and he said, "Hey, I know we cut you, but I'd like you to come back." I said, "Okay, I appreciate that, coach. Thank you very much. I'll think about it." And he said, "Okay, great." I hung up the phone and my dad said, "You're gonna do it, right?" I said, "No, I don't think so. I think I'm done with that." And he goes, "What?" I said, "My gut tells me I'm done." He said, "What are you gonna do?" I took a deep breath. I said, "I'd like to get into the business." He said, "What business?" I said, "The wrestling business." He said, "You are throwing it all away. It is the worst mistake you will ever make." He said, "You're ruining your career." I said, "Maybe I'll be no good. But I feel like in my heart I have to do this. And I either need you to train me or need you to not train me." My dad rose to the occasion. He said, "I'll train you." And it wound up being one of the greatest chapters in my life. The goal, this is my 10th year of acting, the goal was always to work in, and I started in the action genre. I love action, and I love kicking ass. But the goal was to become a better actor, and so for me, in order for me to do that, I had to work in all different genres.
Sure.
I wanted to explore family movies, comedies, action comedies, family comedies, mixed drama into as well. So that was important to me, was just to get better. I knew I wanted to be something, and it was important to me to be something. It was important to me that I didn't fail. But by the way, and if I did fail, at least what was also important was the lesson. And I didn't realize that until I got older, because you know, when you're in it, you're in the grind, you don't really recognize those things when you're younger, but I could recognize them now and the importance of them now. And just in terms of the drive and the determination, a lot of it was experience too. Get your ass kicked, you get back up, and you put the gloves back on and you swing away. When I was 16 years old, that was the last time that I was arrested, and at that time, we were at an all-time low, I think, with our family. And at that time, we were living in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. And I am already a pretty big boy, 6'4", 200 and maybe 20, 25 pounds. I had a very bad mustache. I had a chip on my shoulder. Fresh into this high school in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, Freedom High School. I wanted to use the bathroom, but I didn't want to use the regular boys' bathroom because the boys' bathroom smelled like smoke and all the other fun stuff that boys' bathrooms smell like. So I'd go into the teacher's lounge and a teacher comes in. His name is Jody Swick. Tough guy. He says, "Hey, you can't be in here." I kind of pause, look over my shoulder. "Okay, I'll leave when I'm done." And I continue to wash my hands. I slowly dry my hands, and I walked by him, and I kind of just looked at him. I walked by, he looked at me, didn't say a word, but he was fuming. I went home that night, and I felt bad. I just felt bad. Very next day, I found him, and I went to see him in his class, and I said, I just want to apologize for how I acted yesterday, and I'm sorry. And I stuck my hand out, and he looked at my hand and looked at me, looked at my hand again. He shook my hand. I'll never forget that shake. He wouldn't let it go. He said, "I want you to do something for me." "Yes." "I want you to come out and play football for me." I said, "Okay." He said, "All right. Have your word?" "Yeah, sure. You got my word." I didn't think much of it. I thought, okay, yeah, play some football. Like playing football? Sure. Cool. And I went out and I played football for Jody Swick, and he was our head football coach. And he became a father figure to me and a mentor. I fell in love with the game of football. My grades got better, and I started getting recruited from every college across the country. College coaches would come in. You say, "There he is, Dwayne Johnson, 6'4", 250, plays both sides of the ball.
very aggressive. My thought process started to change. That's when I started thinking about goals and what I wanted to accomplish. And I love that man. I'll never forget the impact that he had in my life. And the reminder and my takeaway from that amazing relationship that I had was the empathy that he had for a punk kid who treated him so rudely and disrespectfully. He looked past that BS and said, I believe in you and I want to turn you around. Oftentimes when I see kids and they have been labeled, oh, they're punk kids. True. But there's good in them. And we got to see that potential. And I enjoy that today, seeing the potential in kids just like he did, especially kids who are kind of wayward and have been going through it. I know what it's like. So thank you, Jody. Thank you, buddy.
I love April Fools, but the thing about it is I love doing, but my April Fools runs the entire year.
I see, yes.
So
I'm
for
similar.
example, yeah, because it's like April Fools, everyone's expecting it. So this past, around Christmas time, we were getting ready to make a big announcement for a movie, and I called my agent. I was overseas, and I called my agent, Brad Slater. I woke him up in the middle of the night, and I was like, hey, man, I got to talk to you. He's like, what's going on? What's wrong? I said, I don't know how it happened, but my cousin who was on tour with us, I said, just got busted with prostitutes, and my name is attached to it now, and it's all getting ready to hit the press. He started freaking out. I was like, Brad, are you okay? He was getting emotional. Oh my God, what are we gonna do? Okay, hold on. And he goes, I'm gonna be calm in the pocket. I'm thinking about this, hold on. And I was like, I don't know what to do. I think there's multiple prostitutes with this thing. There's a whole ring over here. It's unbelievable. Had him going and going and going, and finally, I was like, oh, Brad. He's like, what? I was like, December Fool!
That's awesome. We need to start doing that. December Fools, October Fools. Who's down for that? Roxy wouldn't be down for that. What you got, Rox?
What's up, you guys? Good morning. All right, so I love this video. I had never listened to him. I mean, I've seen him on movies, and I like his spirit. But some of the things that I took away were, I love when he was talking about be yourself, because it's the most powerful thing that you can do. Like, people can't love you, people can't like you if you're not being who you really are, because when you're not being who you really are, people can feel that and people can sense that. And people want to be able to see who you really are. So I really love that one. And then I really love one of the last ones. And I love when he was talking about seeing the potential in others, seeing the good in others, and just seeing something that most people won't, like his coach. His coach was able to see past the punk kid, you know. And for me, I feel like in the area of work that we do, when we're helping people get on their nutrition program, or helping people, and you see people and you see so much potential in them, although they may not see it in themselves and recognize that in themselves. But I think it's so powerful, because when we're able to do that for other people, you never know what you can do for that person's life. You know, for me, I can go back in my life and I can remember my 5th grade teacher and the impact that he had in my life, because I would always go into school crying for X, Y, and Z reasons. And he always took the time, instead of just saying I can't deal with this girl, but rather sitting down with me and talking to me and just pouring out into me with just no judgment. And for me, it made a very big difference in the way that I started to show up in school and doing school. So I really love that. And then the last one, I love when he was talking about swinging away. You know, there's going to be tough times and all of these things that come your way, but if you just put on the gloves and you just keep swinging, you know, I love how he said that it was important for him to be something in his life. It was important for him to be successful. It was important for him to be something. And I remember yesterday at our leadership development weekend, and they mentioned something like that, this isn't a trial period of life. And the next thing you know, you're going to pass and wake up and, oh yeah, you get another chance. We only get one chance. And if you only get one chance, what are you making out of it? So I really enjoyed this video.
Awesome. Great stuff. Great video. I really like The Rock. He's an inspiration for me. When I get swole on my gain, sometimes I look like them. So don't hate on that. Number one for me, working incredible work ethic. And for me, that because for somebody just to say it is inspirational. But I've heard about Rock getting up really early. I heard about Rock working all day. And I've heard about Rock's sleep schedule. Like, I've heard about this before. I think I heard about it from Ty Lopez. And one of my biggest things is I believe in the power of work ethic. You know, I've seen it work for people like my mom, who came from Mexico, not speaking English, to being 31 years in the United States Marines, you know, never giving me excuses, always going to work. Like, I didn't have to wonder what work ethic was. I just had to look at my mom. And I've always believed in work ethic. And even when maybe I was shorter than everybody else, weaker than everybody else, slower than everybody else, you know, less confident than everybody else, I always believed in the back of my head that if I worked hard, I could get ahead. That was always there because I had seen it work for my mom. And it just continues to remind me of that, because in this great country of ours, and remember, it hasn't always been this way. There's been countries in the past where it was a caste system where if you were a peasant, you were a peasant no matter how good you were. But now in this world, where in the United States, where it's 4 times more likely for somebody that came here as an immigrant to become a millionaire than somebody who was born here, that shows you that a different kind of work ethic can make all the difference in your life. And that was my number one thing from him. Number 2, follow your heart, have faith. You know, on the other side of your pain is something good. And if you have that faith through it, through the tough times, which come for everybody, if you have that faith that on the other side of your pain is something good, for me, that would give me strength to get through, and does give me strength to get through when there do come tough times. I really like that. And then the last one was work on yourself. And I love this one because he explained some of his process. I remember seeing a poster for The Tooth Fairy, which is a movie he did a couple of years ago. And my thinking at the time was, damn, Rock sold out. He's doing kids movies, which I know they get paid a lot of money for. But usually in acting, that's like the end of your career. You're doing kids movies. You go from action hero to kids movies. But if you see, he's still very successful. And he said, I did that because I wanted to work on every genre of action or acting that I could. I didn't just want to be an action actor. I wanted to be a better actor, period. And that for me was like mind-blowing. It's like, dang, he did these things intentionally to grow his skill set. It wasn't for the check, which I thought at the time. It was because he wanted to be able to expand his skill set inside of acting. And for me, that really inspired me to always be working on expanding my skill set, whether it's as an Herbalife member and distributor coach, whether it's as a husband, whether it's as a friend, whether it's as a son, whether it's as a brother, whether it's as a mentor, whether it's as a mentee, whatever it is, always working on intentionally expanding my skill set through working on myself. So that's what you guys are doing right here, right now at Triple M. So congratulations. So let's get a few takeaways from the callers. If you're excited, give me a smile. If you're excited, give me a thumbs up. If you're excited, just have your video on and I'm going to call on you. I know a lot of people are probably at work right now. And it looks like everybody's at work. If you can talk, go ahead and come off mute. I know everybody's at work. That's all right. Jay Galindo, I saw a smiley face. You want to talk? Jay Galindo, you there? Okay. I saw a smiley face. I thought that meant yeah. Okay. Since everybody's at work, we're going to get it. I'm going to let y'all off the hook this time because I know you're working hard. And thank God you guys tuned in even though you're at work. So this is what you get to do. Now you guys get to take away these takeaways and post it on your social media. You know, you can repost a flyer. You can post a picture of The Rock. You can repost a video link once it's uploaded and tag your friends. The biggest thing is that we pay this information, this motivation, and this empowerment forward, that it doesn't stick with us. Because if you want to know something really well, you teach it. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to implant it even more in our brain right now. So pay it forward. I'll see you guys next Monday. Fourth quarter is officially here. Fourth quarter is officially here. That means it's time to get it, baby. Let's go, y'all. I'm going to take everybody off mute for a quick second. Peace out. Let's get it. I know you guys are so let's work, y'all. Peace.